Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh man. Man. I gotta trying to I gotta make this quick video real quick. I'll let your boy Triple BLACK. You already know what it is, #1 stunner. I just got over there. I was listening to Obsidian. I had to say Obsidian. Uh, just now, going over there and I remember today. I mean, I remember me and him. We engaged in a back and forth. Kind of in a panel on Bernard Riley. Shout out to the Bernard Riley gang, whatever. I tried to get on the panel today because he was sitting there talking, and I just had some questions and shit. And then I started to further think about this guy, man. I was just like, man, let me figure this out because I don't know, because he sounds very smart. He sounds very smart. To me, he comes off as, what do you call it, a charlatan, basically a fraud. Someone that talks a lot, big. If you listen to him, because if you talk to him, you hardly ever um, hear him say he don't know. Right? I heard him chopping it up with some guy earlier on the show, and you can tell he didn't really understand what the guy was really talking about, because the guy was talking, using a lot of big words and trying to use some of these things, and then he was just saying what. But I was just like, listen, okay, I got to figure this out. Is this a come up for him? This Kevin Samuels thing, does he really believe in what he's talking about? Right now he's been making, the target. He's been going at the Kristen Karazine people, and Chrissy and all those swirlers, like for the last couple of days, and he's been using Kevin Samuels imagery for it, basically. I just thought I just think it's very interesting, his whole perspective. I think that, because one thing that was very telling uh, on the live stream that I was with on him, this man just basically dry snitched on Derek Jackson, straight up dry snitched on him. If you don't believe me, go to Bernard Riley and listen to the thing. He dry snitched, and I don't know. It's just like, it's too overt to think that he's trying to sabotage Kevin, because some of the stuff that he's talking about, and he's trying to lead this charge and whatever, behind the guise of trying to help the manosphere, and it doesn't. I mean, a lot of it doesn't make any sense. And the reason I was making this thing does he want Kevin to play checkers, or does he want him to play chess? I mean, there's good strategy um, in either what's the name in either game that you're trying to play. They say life is a game of chess, because you got to definitely make moves and stuff like that. But I always thought that until I had my nephew. My nephew said, "Hey, listen, um, if life is chess, sometimes you have to play checkers." And I was just like, that doesn't make any sense. Chess is much more sophisticated, much more calculated moves and all this type of stuff. He's like, nah. He's like, you got to think about it. In checkers, um, when you're playing chess, your moves are restricted. And you have to be certain, piece to make certain moves. You can't make all moves. Checkers, you can go back and forth, side to side, and guess what? Anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. So sometimes in life you have to play checkers. Especially if you don't have the resources, you got to play checkers. and sometimes you got to get people to play your game. And you see, like it's the Derek Jackson versus Kevin Samuels thing is very interesting to me because you see like Kevin Samuels making some great moves and stuff like that, and then he did a live stream yesterday, and and then I think he made a really false move. But you know what? And he was basically trolling, like the people, like his detractors and stuff like that. And I don't think that really looks really good on his brand. But it is what it is. I don't know who advised him on that. I like when he was using the videos for calling people's out, using those words against them and stuff like that. I thought that was brilliant. But when he started trolling and doing the cat thing, and then the whole imagery of it kind of kind of threw me off a little bit because I'm not used to seeing him in that you know in that light. But uh, what I was saying is one of the things in chess, uh, the most powerful piece in chess is the queen, and they're forcing him to go against Derek Jackson. And one thing that Derek Jackson he has queens on the board. And Kevin right now, unless he knows something I don't know, I mean, he knows something that we don't know or hasn't been really brought public yet. He's running basically what it's called, running the board without any panties. He's not running it with any queens. If anything, he's making a lot of enemies with queens. There are some queens that go on the show and stuff like that, but yet even the person that he was promoting and giving big ups to that would kind of be on his side, kind of switch sides on him. So unless I don't know something, because the question I was going to ask for on Obsidian is like, if you're playing chess, how do you win this battle without a queen, without the queen's protection? How do you checkmate without the queen's protection? And the thing about it is and one other thing that really uh, raised my antennas was Roland Martin. Roland Martin made like a whole 30-minute video about Kevin Samuels. He tried to marginalize it because he was in the car just driving, whatever. I guess a lot of people have been hitting him up, to talk about this. And he probably didn't want to talk about this. One of the things that, why this is important, and a lot of people haven't even talked about, is Roland Martin is an alpha 5, something like that. But anyways, he's basically Boule. He's a Boule dude. And a lot of Boule people have a lot of influence on media. And Kevin's a Kappa. Kevin's a Kappa. That's need to be noted. And one of the top Kappas is Bob Johnson, the former owner of BET. And there's a lot of prominent people within that organization. The fraternities and stuff like that. So, and there's a lot of powerful people. So, um, I'm telling you, I'm just putting two and two together. Hey, you got Roland Martin. He's getting calls. Who's this Kevin Samuels guy? There might be calls from his administrators. There might be calls from people's wives, and you know what? And the thing about it is they don't really care. He's cooking black people. He's cooking black women, and you see what happened to Cube. Um, what's funny about Obsidian? They haven't really even talked about Ice Cube. There were Ice Cube had this big battery in his back, and I tried to make the point, man. Is like you're waking up a sleeping giant. Um, you're waking up a sleeping giant, and plus they're really 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 pumping their chests out. And the thing about it, let me preface it by saying that Kevin's ideology, everything he says, I think is supremely on point. But there is a logistical mess that I think they don't see coming. I think they see it coming, but I think some of the people that are just riding the wave is trying to I don't know, they got to make a living, whatever. I think they they may know it because at the same time I'll be like, man, you know what? The way that some of they were acting is it's like they're taking a victory lap already. I guess the manosphere. And one of and you got to also look at everything. You know, the inventor or the person that made the manosphere, really O'Shea. I don't think he has really been really vocal that much on what's going on because I think he kind of know. I think he's media savvy enough to know what's right around the corner. I think he's made some videos or whatever, but I don't think he's been. I mean, with the reach that he has, I think he has enough power to be a more forceful voice in this space. But I wanted to ask Obsidian that, man. I'm like, what are you playing? Checkers or are you playing chess? Because that's very important because I don't know what the strategy is because if you're playing chess, how do you win the board or checkmate without a queen? How do you do it? And last time I checked, Kevin doesn't have a queen on his side, really. I'm not talking about his wife, but the queens or whatever. I mean, he has his army, but he did say 80% of the people that listen to him are men. And the thing about it is with men, I don't know if you can really win that battle because Ice Cube thought he can win that battle, and look what happened to him. He stood. I mean, he stood toe to toe with them. But one of the things is black women, and especially when on the internet, are undefeated. The only other people that are undefeated, like anybody that you can think of, has been forced to submit to them one way or another. And and you can already tell with Kevin, there's a little bit of submission that's happening. I don't think it's I mean, it's not. He still has to keep his brand and keep his guys and stuff like that. But they're undefeated. They're undefeated. We'll see. I don't know what the strategy. I wanted to ask him that. I was like, what are you gonna do when Roland Martin gets a hold of that? And he's a Boulay dude. You know. And the Boulets, start getting into it. They silenced Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed had a big army, but look what happened to him. You know, hey, you can say that Tariq won the battle, or whatever, but hey, hey, he's not as I guess as forceful as before. I don't think I just don't think he has the smoke for black women that he had before, like Sotomayor, the same thing. I don't know. I'm just interested in that whole thing because the whole fraternity angle. All those guys are interconnected, especially in media. You got the Tom Joyners, Steve Harveys. You got all these entertainers that are part of that, those fraternities and all those stuff, and they're all interconnected, even though they might be different chapters and stuff like that. But I'm sure Mr. Samuels is probably getting calls, from people's wives, from people's his old brothers, their sisters or mothers and stuff like that, and be like, hey man, what's going on, and the thing, and this is, I'm gonna leave you guys with this right here. That was one clip that was one clip from World Star Hip Hop. That was one clip. That's one clip that went viral. And he's had content for the last 6 7 months that's been pretty strong, and plus older content. I think the newer content is a little bit stronger. It's definitely a little bit stronger, and I wanna say that uh, because they're coming, especially if you're going to make a direct comparison to Derek Jackson. If he does come and start doing live streams and stuff like that, uh, and I don't understand how this guy has 700 subscribers and hasn't touched YouTube yet. Hasn't touched the thing. And then those people, and one of the arguments that they were saying, oh, he's like, wait till he gets on YouTube, he's gonna have to take live calls, but I'm just saying, this dude does conferences with all these women that you think meeting face to